Okay, welcome back. We got a new one today. Like a lot of people, I was watching the Game Awards the other day, and I realized that they had released a Forspoken demo. And I thought I'd give it a try. I'll go ahead and start talking about it, but let's get into the game first. And I'll start talking about it while the game runs. We'll let the initial cutscene run, and then we'll start talking about our thoughts and first impressions on the demo and kind of where we're at with this thing and sort of what it's about. Squeenix.
Frey Holland, daydreamer, cat lover, New Yorker. On a fateful evening, her life changed drastically when she was mysteriously transported to the beautiful, treacherous land of Athia. Frey arrives with a magical, sentient bracelet inexplicably wrapped around her arm, then discovers she can cast powerful spells and use magic to swiftly traverse the sprawling landscapes. The last remnants of Athia's populace soon look to Frey as their only hope for confronting the Tamtas, once benevolent matriarchs who now rule as maddened and evil sorceresses. Reluctant to help, but desperate to find a way back home, Frey sets off on a journey through this strange and dangerous land.
Okay, so that's the setup. We're in a magical world where we have magical powers. We're helping out, but we're ultimately trying to get home. Yeah, we'll run the tutorial. I'm not going to spend too much time in the tutorial. If you want to pause any of these instructions, feel free, but you don't really need to learn any of this stuff right off the bat. Obviously, there's you sort of casually jog around and you click in the left stick and you run, or alternately, if you hold the circle button, you can kind of parkour a little bit and you automatically go over stuff and you run much faster. But you have a stamina meter that runs out, so you can only do that for as long as you have stamina in your stamina meter. But let's back up a little bit. What the hell is Forsaken? What's it on? What's it about? So, like a lot of people, this game was not really super on my radar. I had heard of it, but I didn't really know what it was about. It was too early to have any thoughts on it, really, other than it looked kind of pretty, and it does look absolutely gorgeous. I think this is a PlayStation and PC exclusive, at least initially. From what I understand, it's a timed exclusive only. So maybe, in a year or so, it'll also be on the Xbox, but who knows? I don't really know that for sure. Yeah, let's go work our way through this tutorial. Alright. Now it's going to tell us, hey, here are some enemies, and here, you've got magic attacks that you can use. Attack magic. So you've got an attack magic, and you have a defense magic, and then you have one that builds up over time that you can use. This first one is just sort of you shoot little rocks at these dudes.
All right.
Or you can hold it and do a charged attack that explodes. It has a splash damage. Does a lot more damage overall too, which is cool. So if you hold it, you can see that the attack charges, and then you release it, and it explodes. Also, you have this defensive attack where I can place. Wait a minute, what is that? Oh, that's a binding attack. Sorry, I have the wrong attack queued up. That's the one I usually tend to use. It's a lot to explain, and it seems a bit overwhelming at first. There's a lot of information that the game throws at you. I'm going to try to break it down as much as I can here a little bit. Okay, so you have two different types of spells. You've got Frey's magic, and you've got Sila's or Sila's magic. One's kind of fire-based, and one's kind of earth-based. So how do you know which one to use? Well, one of the things that you can do is you do this scan using your sentient bracelet, and then you see there's a little prompt by the enemy that you can get more info if you hit the up on the D-pad. And this one tells you it's strong against Frey's magic, but it's weak against Sila's magic. So you want to switch the type of magic that you're using to that fire-based magic. hit both the shoulder buttons, switch to Sila's magic, and then you can wail on this dude.
Damn.
So that just kind of shows you how to switch between your two different sets of magic. You might get more sets of magic as the game progresses. I would imagine you do. But initially it starts out with those two. But speaking of using your little sentient bracelet, there's a couple of things that you can do with it. For one, if you just tap it on the up button, it does a scan of the area around you that kind of highlights the enemies, and you can gives you more information about what attacks they're vulnerable to and what they're strong against. But it also highlights treasure chests and items that you can pick up for your crafting or whatever. And another way that you can use the bracelets is if you hold down on the up pad and you let it go. It's not showing me the path yet. I guess I have to get finished with the tutorial before it shows me that. Switching between spell sets. It just shows you how to do that, which we already know about. And these zombies they're vulnerable to either one. Doesn't matter what you use. I'm going to switch up my defensive spell to this. Okay, what that's done is it gives me a couple of arrows by my side that automatically will shoot out at enemies. I'm also going to change my main attack spell that gives me a projectile here. If I hold it, I can throw it like a javelin, and then it explodes, which is really handy. It has a AoE damage as well.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be right up in A range with your enemies. Okay, this is a little finisher. If they're down, you can hit triangle, finish them off. If it doesn't finish them off, it does a critical strike. Some enemies with a lot of health, it doesn't all the way finish them off, but it does a critical strike that does boatloads of damage. No, let's continue. Okay, so these are our objectives. We've got 5 objectives in the demo. But like I said, there are areas of interest and things that you can do. And if you hold up on the D-pad and then you release it, it gives you a little arrow about your path to your next objective or your next mission. And like I said, if you tap it, scans the area.
Let me guess.
Shows you where there's stuff.
Got it in one.
Okay, so these actually big stag are actually enemies, and they're weak to silence magic. So we'll make sure we're using that, which we are. And I've got a big attack that I just unreleased. At the top of the triangle in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, it shows you those attacks. Let me switch up because I know these guys are much easier to hit with these rock projectiles. I realize this is a lot coming at you and a lot on screen at once to try to absorb, which honestly is a great reason for them to have released a demo, because it helps you digest a lot of these, what would otherwise seem kind of off-puttingly complex game systems and combat systems and traversal systems. You know, like I just kind of ran upon this treasure chest here, just by happening to find it. But had I done the pulse, it would highlight it for me and show me, which is also highlighting these little things over here. I'll get into that in a sec. One of the things that's kind of annoying is the enemies seem to respawn awfully quickly in an area. But the combat is really fluid, fast, and fun. So it's not a, it's not a huge complaint. I would rather them have a little bit of time before they respawned on me. Okay, so these things over here are for traversal. And it shows you, if you scan them, it helps you get up high.
When there's no one around, don't you?
So what you do there is you hit the square button, she'll throw out a tether, and attach yourself to it, and she'll launch yourself up. And you can just do it successfully, and time pauses or slows down dramatically when you're doing that, just to help you do it. And now I'm way up here on the cliff compared to where I was down there. You have a little bit of, in this magic parkour, you have a little bit of ways that you can climb, you know, provided that you have enough stamina. But you couldn't climb all the way up here without, you know, without those 8 of those things. You know, maybe at some point in the game your stamina meter gets large enough where you could, but at least initially, you kind of, if you're going to ascend something really like that, you need some steps, some footholds to, you know, rest and recover your stamina. Or you need some of these climbing aids that you can, it pauses and aims them. But once you get that figured out, you realize, oh man, the traversal is just fantastic. But speaking of things that are fantastic, the view, oh my goodness, this world seems like it's absolutely huge. I'll bring up the map. Now this is just the area of the demo that you can travel around in the demo. And I tell you, I've run through the demo like 1.5 times so far, and I've done the 5 objectives one time, but I have not even exhausted all the stuff that there is to do in the demo. It's a very, very generous demo, and they give you a lot of area to run around and discover stuff and do stuff. So I say I've easily spent 3.5 hours just messing around with this demo, and my first impressions are pretty great. Obviously, it's beautiful. It runs very smoothly. It's a beautiful world that you want to explore, you know, versus like, let's say like a Fallout, like a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland. Yeah, it's a giant world and it's really well rendered, but it's depressing and you don't want to be in it. You don't want to explore it. It just makes you feel bad because the whole world is ruined. This, you want to explore it. It's just gorgeous. So A, it's big, beautiful, and runs smoothly. And B, the traversal is incredible. You can even, instead of taking fall damage, you can grapple to the ground when you're really low. And that's very much like a Just Cause sort of thing, if you've ever played the Just Cause game. Grappling to the ground saves you from fall damage in the same way like a butt stomp would save you from fall damage in Mario 64 or whatever. But, so yeah, it's the combat is fun, the traversal is fun, and it's a big, beautiful world that you want to explore. So, right there, off the bat, it's just got all these check marks in the win column for sure. As far as detracting things about it, for me, initially, is the complexity of the combat systems and all the crafting and all the crafting materials. All of that, to me, is off-putting. Some people love that stuff, and they're going to be really super into it. But I think it's not terribly difficult to learn these systems. Especially when the game gives you a really generous, protracted length demo where you can just explore and just try out all these kind of systems for yourself and experiment and really get good at the stuff. Like when I first played this demo, I didn't know about this traversal mechanic at all, and I played for like 2 hours. First time I played this demo, I had no idea how to get up the cliffs. Thought I had to go all the way around when it gave me an objective that I couldn't get to, and I was like, man, this is fun, but I don't like traveling all the way around these mountains. Not realizing, of course, that I could just at any time, go up this basically sheer cliff, provided there's those elements that I could use to my advantage in traveling. Here's a different kind of enemy over here. We'll do a scan, and then I'll pop that up so it shows me. These are weak to phrase magic, and these are some of the enemies, like the bird enemies, like before, that I was shooting with the rocks.
That's it.
And then, you use your dodge a lot. It kind of tells you when an enemy off screen is about to attack you that's, unblockable or whatever. So it's good about letting you know what's kind of what's happening off screen. You can also lock on an enemy, but you tend to have to do that like every single time. It's weird the way the lock on works. But at any rate, that's enough jibber jabbering for now. Let's kind of proceed to the first objective of this demo, which is to get to this place here. And no fall damage, because of course not. All right, this is sort of like a base of operations.
She was greeted by the most miraculous sight.
Somewhere to lie the fuck down.
Potty mouth. So yeah, there's like a bed in here where you can rest and heal. Then there's this book where you can set combat challenges for yourself to help upgrade your powers. Little stuff here to tell you about the lore of the world, I guess. And a crafting table where you can use
Let's do this.
Where you can use the items that you've picked up to, create healing items or increase your pouch capacity or whatever. Or you can also upgrade different equipment that you have. Like here, yeah, I can upgrade this a little bit with these angle stones that I've picked up. And it's just massively increasing my health. Boom. Okay, but this also unlocks a fast travel in the game. I haven't even tried fast travel in the demo. I don't even know if it works or not. To be honest with you, it's a very large, very generous play area for the demo. But even still, I haven't found the need to fast travel yet. It's really fun just doing the normal traversal. I don't even know. Can I get there? Yeah, I can. Okay. So the next couple of objectives, you've got this thing over here.
How far now?
Which is that the...
Getting closer.
Oh, you know what? That's right. There's another item over here that I wanted to get. There's these statues in the world that sometimes will unlock challenges. Sometimes they'll unlock perks and such. Sometimes they will just kind of upgrade your character or your stuff. And there's one in the world here that I didn't find until the second time I played the demo. Where was it? Oh yeah, this thing with the paw. Okay, so I'm gonna put a marker here. And that's, 1,000 feet that way, 1,100 feet that way. So we'll go back, and when I first played the game, since I didn't know how to get up these cliffs, I had no idea how to reach this thing. Which it's like trivial now, but when I first started playing the game, it was like impossible. But yeah, the very open nature of the world and the just incredibly fluid and fun traversal just works fantastically well together.
What should we do?
Could pretend we didn't notice.
Got a good first strike on the dude because he didn't know I was there.
Look out!
Oh, yeah, I just dodged that guy. Where'd he go? There he is. Boom! Alright, load up a javelin for the other dude. Oh, he got me too. Boink, boink, boink. Bonk, bonk on the head.
There's no one around. Did you do something to annoy them all?
What didn't I do?
I think that was you, sentient bracelet, who doesn't stop talking. Although, if that bracelet talks too much, they are aware of the fact that can get on your nerves. So, in the settings menu, you can turn down how frequently that thing talks to you if it gets on your nerves.
Look over there. What's that weird
fair.
statue?
It looks like one of those cat things you so enjoy.
Easy with the smack talking on cats there, bracelet. Sentient or no, I can still chuck you into the river, bro.
Whoa. Is that a cat?
It's a heavy metal cat with studded bracelets and a unicorn horn.
In the middle of the break?
I assume that is no ordinary cat.
It's behaving like an ordinary cat. Tanta's Familiar Monument. Okay, so I guess that's where we need to go. Or that's where we will go, rather. You could probably take a less dangerous way down, but hey, who needs it? When you can do that. Yeah, just getting around the world is fun. Combat is fun. So far, everything's fun. Here comes real life cat. What you doing, buddy? You gonna have a seat in my lap? What you doing? Get settled. Okay. So, let's go ahead and get to the area where we're supposed to be going. Look, there's some more enemies. Uh-oh, wrong magic. That was pretty easy peasy. Even though I did take a hit. Because I surprised them and they attacked me before I could react. Look at all this, whatever the hell it is that they've been eating. They don't waste any of it, do they? Okay. So again, our objective is pretty clear over there, but if you ever wanted to know how to get there, just that up button will kind of point you away. Here's some dudes. Yeah. Eat it.
Yup.
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. Like I say, for me, it's, you know, for an old dude who can't see very well, having the just screen just exploding with what seems like a superfluous amount of particle effects and numbers and just crap flying over all over the screen at once seems initially confusing and off-putting, but after a little bit with the game, you not only get used to it, but you kind of figure out roughly what everything means with relatively quickly. Pew 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 pew. Oh, that one's resistant to that kind of magic. So guess what they want? One of those. Kaboom! And they like that one so much, I'll give them another one. So they got the mix of two different types of enemies here. One's that's weak to the fire magic and one that's weak to the earth magic. But just because they're resistant doesn't mean you can't use that particular magic on them, just means it's less effective. But it's super easy to switch back and forth. And because the game like pauses while you're switching, there's very little danger of actually, you know, taking any damage because you're trying to switch types of magic or whatever. And honestly, it kind of gives you a little pause in the action. You need to stop and think about, okay, what do I need to attack? With what? And where are the attackers? So it kind of gives you a little break where you can stop and think about junk for a minute, you know? Which is helpful. Is there anybody else? Where the hell are they? It's still giving me the danger music, but I don't see... Oh, there we go. Pew, pew, pew. As you can see, the like the single rock thing has a lot longer range than like when you charge it and then make it explode. That's definitely got a shorter range. So if you're doing that and it's not hitting them, you probably just want to switch to this. And again, you can switch to different ones. That's the burst shot. There's a shield shot, which creates a shield, and you release it. I guess that attacks them or whatever. There's also a different defense stuff. You can bind them up, send out a tendril, which whips everybody if you get surrounded. That defensive stuff is on a cooldown. If you look at the lower right-hand side of that triangle at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, it's charging back up. But the attack spells are not on a cooldown. The ones on the lower right-hand corner. But I don't really care for that one anyway. I like this one here. Basically, puts down a flower that picks up rocks around it and shoots them at your enemies. So it kind of it's like having an assistant on the battlefield. Right, let's go. Parkour. Okay, already been there. Oh, that's right, we were going here. This is just this marker here. I think it's just a fast travel point. Yeah, new fast travel destination, Water Garden, Central Belfry. But our real objective is over here on this bridge. Okay, and it shows me that these guys are more susceptible to Sila's magic. So we'll make sure and switch up to that stuff. And they are archers, and will constantly be sending you a barrage of arrows your way. So you need to make sure that you dodge them and don't sit still for too long. You definitely have to run around, or they will get you. They're in large numbers. They're pretty. They're kind of dangerous because they do land their attacks a lot, and they get off a lot of arrows. You see that one that was way back there almost hit me from where they were. So they got quite a good bit of range on them. Oh, and those were homing. Look at that. Alright, I'm going to get up front here and unleash the charged attack, which is the top of the triangle. That does a pretty good wide area of effect damage on old boys. Oh, look at him hiding behind cover. I see ya. I don't blame you. I do the same thing. Yeah, there's a lot of them coming at me now. Yep. Get up now. Okay, now this is like a little bit of a mini boss here. And I think her sort of gimmick is that it changes. She can change which type of magic that she is resistant to.
Come on.
Or is she resistant to all magic? I don't know.
Coming!
Yeah, it changes what she's vulnerable to and resistant to. Alright. Powers have increased. And a lot of the enemies will reveal chests and treasures and upgrades and stuff. But at any rate, like I say, it's very cool. I'm really loving the demo. It was a lot to absorb at first, but after a couple of tries with it, I'm definitely fully on board. Like I say, when this game, you know, I've been aware of its existence, but I haven't really, because I didn't know what it was about or anything about it, hasn't super been on my radar. I knew it was like a, you know, well-publicized AAA title that Sony was really pushing hard. But, you know, being a new IP and everything, you never know how that's going to go. So I hadn't been super really excited about it because it didn't know what to think. But I think putting out a demo for it has gone a really long way, at least for me,
I think we're close to something.
to giving me a reason to look at this thing or give it a second thought, really. And I have to say, it's, now that I've had some time with it, I super enjoy it. I really love it. I guess I don't know what you would call this game. Just sort of like a, what type of game? Just sort of open world kind of action adventure, action RPG. I don't even know, honestly, how you would classify this. But it's fun. I don't know, like I say, what box to put it in, or if it should be put in a box. Because it's doing a lot of different things. Like, there are very few games that are just one thing, you know? These days, every game has to incorporate every system into it. It used to be that only role-playing games had role-playing game elements, but now they all sort of do. Uh-oh, enemies. Pew, pew, pew!
Come on.
I think they're hitting me with poison or something. I can't even tell what that is. Some kind of fog or something that was, I guess, doing me damage. Oh wait, that's... I was on the wrong magic power. I didn't want to use that. Okay, let's switch over. Yeah, I'm on the right ones there. Alright, let's go to this next area.
Feeling kind of tingly.
She's going through puberty. I wouldn't try to breathe too much underwater. That can't be healthy for you. Girl whose name I forgot. New spell learned. Traversal stuff. Cool. Into it. Objective 3 complete. Alright, now I could, like I say, I could screw around in this demo just forever, but, you know, for the sake of expediency, let's go ahead and work our way towards the next two objectives. Like, it's funny because this water is really shallow. It's like, you know, up to her, like, her mid-shins. But it looks like when she's sprinting and doing this parkour, she's walking on water. So she's apparently video game Jesus, which I'm into. I'm playing as black female video game Jesus, and I'm here for it, 100%. She's also a witch. You know, you can't fault that. Unless you're one of those super uptight religious peoples, and then you can find fault in anything. Bork. Okay. Spear! Explodey spear! Which is, you know, the best kind of spear. I do love that finishing move, where they're down and you just, like, jump over and stab them. That's pretty great. Pretty great stuff. I mean, I guess the only thing that I would love for the game to have that it really doesn't is stealth. But this is an action game. It's not a stealth game. But having said that, it is kind of cool that it gives you a bonus damage if you strike the enemy and they were unaware of your presence. So that's cool. Like the first strike or two that you get on a group of unaware enemies gives you bonus damage, and that's a tiny little nod to stealth gameplay, and I can get behind that. Alright, look, a lot of dudes in the area and a chest. And we need to switch ammo, because those birds we need to shoot rocks at. Pew, pew, pew! Yeah, the rocks seem to do really well against the flying enemies, because they're such rapid-fire projectiles. Whereas the spears that you're thrown with the fire magic, they take a little bit longer to travel to the target, so you miss more often with those. Yeah. So the rocks are good for enemies that can dodge your stuff, I guess. But also, of course, it depends on their own particular vulnerability to which type of magic that you got. And speaking of magic, look at those cool floating boulders that float around in the air in the exact same way that bricks don't. Now, when I first played the demo, because like I said, I was super unfamiliar with the traversal, I thought, hey, I could use those to get across the area. And I attempted to do that, and I failed miserably. That was before I knew about this thing. So you actually can use these to travel around the world, and there's a shortcut across these deep ravines and valleys to travel from, basically from mountaintop to mountaintop or whatever. And it's not too terribly hard. Well, the only thing you kind of need to keep in mind is you need to watch your stamina meter. Because if your stamina meter runs out and you're trying to do this sort of flight traversal jumpy thingy and you're out of stamina, you're going to fall a very long way. Because that's not a short way to fall. And if you're out of stamina, you also can't do the thing where you know, grapple to the ground to save yourself from some damage. So you just fall and hit the ground. And that's proven to be unhealthy, as I found out. Because it's real easy to kind of get carried away and just run and try to dash across all these floating boulders and just forget about your stamina meter and not really even think about it. But you can also set how quickly your stamina meter recovers as well. So, you know, you can kind of... There's a lot of settings in the game where you can fine-tune a lot of different aspects of the game, you know, to your own preference. Okay, so that's my next objective over there. Alright, let's go back here then. But yeah, I have my stamina meter set to regenerate really quickly. Which, you know, I don't know if that's cheating or not, but
Well, this doesn't look
I like
good.
to have it that way.
Yes, something seems to have drawn the break here. But I expect you can clear it away with your pack.
Yep, we got it. And I'm not sure what good the cat monument did for me, but this one I think gives me a permanent boost to my defense. So not only is it a giant, beautiful world that's fun to traverse and explore, but it benefits you to do so. There's a reason to kind of run around and explore the area. All right, so let's go to objective number 5, which is, tell us how to get there, dude. Oh, well, tell me there. 948 feet that way. All right, so how do I? Whoa, uh-oh. Well, let's land there. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. No fall damage though. Because I used the grapple. If you don't use the grapple, there is a little bit of fall damage. Although surprisingly, a fall from one of those giant boulders didn't kill me. Maybe it's because I have the game set on easy. I don't know, but it actually didn't. Okay, here's some area where I can climb up there. Because that next objective is way over that way, but it's across the cliff top. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
I sense a hostile presence.
Uh-oh.
Be on your guard.
Uh-oh. Alright, and these are big deer, so they're
Yeah, stay frosty. Got it.
sealess magic they're vulnerable to.
Do something.
Boom! Look at that AoE. Suck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finish her. Finish him. Fatality. Oh, here's another little tower. This gives me a fast travel point. And I'm sure, like in the full game, because of all these fast travel points, even if you don't want to like run around and explore the area just to its absolute maximum, you know, being able to fast travel, I'm sure is pretty darn helpful. And if you don't want it to be a tedious slog, or if you feel like the traversal isn't fun, you know, there's ways around it. Okay, that's where I need to go, over here. And grapple to the ground. And they're vulnerable to that magic, which we're using. So, yep. Who else is around? Alright. Suck it.
Woo.
I like how with the same magic, you can have a melee weapon or a ranged weapon, and
What's the matter?
all at the same time, which is pretty cool.
Can't fucking see straight.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. You're not wrong about that video game character whose name I can't remember. Alright, there's a lot of those stinking birds. Let's hop up here and switch magics.
Okay.
Pew pew pew! Pew, 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 pew. Make short work of them. Pew, 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 pew. No, no, attack that one. Here we go. Alright, now switch magics. No, you're supposed to switch magic. Now I need the other one. Okay. Yep. Yep. Gotcha. And now the magic chest is unlocked.
Looks like the coast is clear.
Let's not get careless.
Don't lecture me.
What do we got?
Judicious. A cloak once beloved of Tantaprav. Protects the wearer from being dazed and or confused. Forspoken demo completed. Which is not really the case, because there's an extra challenge. And in addition to the extra challenge, there's a whole big giant world here to explore, even in just the demo level. You can explore this demo level, like I say, for hours and not uncover everything. It's pretty incredible. Imagine the game is going to be pretty darn huge. Okay, so let's get to the final bonus level, or bonus objective, which is in that direction. Also, if you find that you don't really care for the combat, it's pretty easy to run by most of it. As evidenced by the fact that we are running by a lot of enemy dudes. But yeah, the final bonus objective of the level, or of the demo, rather, is a little kind of a mini boss. Oh, out of stamina. Yeah, the bonus objective is just a quick little sort of mini boss.
Yeah.
Poink! Boom! How you like that? Have some more, sir. Running along a cliff's edge with no fear, because if you go off, look at that, you can get right back on. Kind of cool. I'm into it. I'm here for it. So like I say, overall, the demo has taken my sort of awareness / interest level in this game and taken it from, okay, I'm aware this thing exists, but I don't know anything about it and not super interested into it. It has taken it, ramped that all the way up to I am fully here for it, and I'm eagerly awaiting this game's final release. I'm looking forward to when this game comes out and seeing what the final product ends up being, because this is super cool. I'm 100% here for all of this. The combat, the traversal, how beautiful the world is, and huge, and makes you want to explore it. So far, I am all the way on board. And let's get this final little mini boss, and he's resistant. He's very resistant to phrase magic, but he's vulnerable to sealess magic. Immune to tangled, immune to imprisoned, immune to confused, immune to stopped. Okay. So we will switch this over here. Oh! I was trying to dodge, but I couldn't get out of the way in time. Boom! How you like that? Slug it! Big giant freaky looking fish alligator thing. Oh! Okay, I'm sorry I insulted you. Not sorry. Oh, he got me. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Ow.
Good night.
Now, there's one of those finisher moves just used as a powerful critical attack. That's not actually a finisher. Boy, it thing keeps swiping at me with his tail, and I keep falling for it. Like a dumb. Like a big old dumb. Probably should just stand back and hit it with those ranged attacks. Come on, dude. Uh-oh. Critical hit. Let's get him. Yeah. He's hecka angry, boy. I get it. He was just minding his own business, to be fair, and I came up on his little area and started, you know, slinging fire at him. So, you know, this encounter is 100% on me. Poor old dude minding his own business. I'm the aggressor here. I'm the interloper. I'm the fire started. Twisted fire starter. Effing instigator.
Damn.
You bitch you hated. Can't remember the rest of the words. Get out of the way. Oh, I got another one of those big boy attacks. Unleash it. Kablam! Ow! Explodey spear. Boom! Ow! Took one to the face! Boy, that camera gets pretty challenging sometimes when it zooms in and out, and you can barely see what you're doing with all the stuff splaying all over the screen. But that's it. That's the demo. At least that's it for the main objectives to the demo. Of course, like I say, there's a whole lot more to this demo if you really want to explore it. It's pretty amazing. I'm super into it. Kind of just knew about it but didn't care, and now I'm on board. That is Forspoken. As far as I know, it's just a timed exclusive for PlayStation and PC at first. Maybe it one day will make its way to Xbox. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. And with that, I will say thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next one.